Alright, I'm going to kind of reintroduce myself real quick. This is John Wick, aka James Dean. I just use different pseudonyms. You can call me the Patriot. You can call me whatever the fuck you want. The nickname's not important. The message, on the other hand, is. I basically, almost every morning when I wake up, swipe right on my phone and read the news, I get pissed. I get pissed because I read just a bunch of woke bullshit, some liberal crap piece. Something always reaches out and just grabs my attention and sets my mood horrible for the first half hour or so of the day. And I decide, you know what, I'm going to make a video today. I haven't done it in a while, but I've read too many bad news articles to not resume filming, and so here I am again, back at it. But I mean, enough about me. Cancel culture is alive and well, and that's why I don't blame a lot of people in the news and the media today for somewhat bowing to the woke mob. But if you're a millionaire and you're letting these people control you just for, to increase your bottom line by a little bit, or just to make sure you don't lose a few million when you already got multiple million in the bank, you're a punk. If you aren't going to lose your livelihood and your ability to feed your family by standing up to the woke mob, then you damn well should be out there speaking for us, because there's some of us like me who just don't give a fuck and will stand up to any woke piece of shit any day of the week and put them in their place and not give a fuck about it. With their fake statistics, their misinformation, their complete lying by omission, just any way they try to misdirect, misinform. And it does happen on both sides, but most of the time it's a fucking leftist or a liberal news source that does the misguiding. But anyway, like Drew Brees, for example, I'll get specific. He has millions. He could retire tomorrow and he'd be fine the rest of his life. He could have retired probably 5 years ago and been fine the rest of his fucking life. He apologized to the woke mob and made a bitch out of himself because, why? I don't know why. At that point, he had plenty of money. He should have held on to his pride. And so while my older videos, I would jump from subject to subject, I'm going to try to focus on one, maybe two news articles at a time. One that bothered me this week was the U.S. Catholic bishops. They were going to refuse to give communion to Democrat politicians. Not just Democrats, but mostly them, because politicians who basically don't practice what they preach. For example, Joe Biden was the one who brought up, who got the conversation started, because he's supposedly a Catholic, but he heads the party that fights for abortion rights. Conservatives have been trying to get it legalized forever, but Democrats believe in pro-choice, which means the choice to abort babies if you want. Catholics are crystal clear about the way they see it, and that is that abortion's murder and that it should be therefore illegal. And Joe Biden claims to be a Catholic, yet supports abortion. So they basically brought up the argument, and we're going to make it so Catholics, or so-called Catholics who were known to be politicians that fought for abortion rights, could be refused communion. But they decided it would be too controversial. In other words, they knew they'd be canceled by the woke mob. That bothered me, and there was one other news article that bothered me, which I'll get to in a minute. But let me do a little bit of a backstory really quick. I think Americans these days remind me of spoiled kids who don't know how well they have it. I've been to jail and prison, and a lot of things that you take for granted in day-to-day life that you wouldn't even think you would miss, you miss while you're locked up. And I said that to say this. America, I think what's going on with us right now is the same way. They call us so systemically racist and oppressive and terrible and this and that. It's a bunch of spoiled fucking brats who don't know how well they have it, Yeah, if you got a millionaire and his kid gets grounded from his $1 million sports car and his $1,000 iPhone, you know, he's going to think it's the end of the world, but it's because he's never had to worry about where his next meal's coming from, like some kids around the world actually have to do. You know, some kids don't know where their next meal is coming from. Some adults don't know where their next meal is coming from. It's just, so being in jail, you don't realize just things that you don't have for months. You know, the ability to sit on the porch and drink a Pepsi in the sunlight during the summer. The ability to listen to music, watch TV, you know, have sex with your wife, whatever the case may be. And what's going on with America is exactly that. You know, you got a bunch of spoiled motherfuckers who think the country's so terrible and oppressive and racist and well, case in point, Gwendolyn Berry, she was an Olympic hammer thrower, and this is the article that initially pissed me off the other morning. She said she thought it was, let me find the quote here, I wrote it down verbatim. Oh, here it is. She said she had the nerve to say it was real disrespectful for the Olympic Committee to play the Star-Spangled Banner, in other words, the National Anthem, when she was up there representing the fucking country by getting a medal in the Olympics. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If you don't like America, get the fuck out. If you hate America so bad, get the fuck out. You got ignorant motherfuckers like Colin Kaepernick, which is one major reason I don't wear Nike anymore. And he says shit like, I believe last year he said that for the 4th of July, instead of celebrating a white supremacist holiday, he went to the homeland of Africa because, you know, I guess they represent, you know, true non-racism. Although they still have modern day slavery in Africa. You know, the rest of the world pretty much is pretty horrible. China's got concentration camps. It's vastly overpopulated. North Korea is god awful. If you don't bow down to the dictator, you can get like 5 years in prison for where you'll be tortured and beat half retarded for vandalizing a poster of the, you know, supreme leader Kim Jong-un. And I'm not kidding. That's what you have to call him, the supreme leader. And it's just, America is the greatest country on earth. I appreciate what I have. I appreciate that I can work a fucking minimum wage job and be technically considered under the poverty level, and have a better existence in life than 90% of the rest of the world. I know what I have. I haven't been around the world, but I'm very well cultured and educated to know what goes on in other countries and other places, and I am very appreciative of every day I have breath on this planet as someone in middle America, and it has nothing to do with white privilege or any of that garbage that, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't exist. It's just American privilege. And for all you spoiled brats that think America's so god-awful, get the fuck out. We don't want you here either. Go to fucking Canada. Go to fucking Mexico. Get the fuck out. Matter of fact, help finish building the border wall and then stand up there so we can kick you the fuck over it. As far as I'm concerned, fuck you. You don't want to contribute. You want to use your platform just to badmouth the country. Then get the fuck out. Go somewhere who wants you. Because we sure in the fuck don't. I'm out.